Gary needs to just completely rip off Pokemon and just make him Ash, Gary V catch them all, and then Gary is just like roaming around the world catching all.
He would get sued.
Great. Let him sue you. Let him sue you, Gary.
I agree. Welcome to the Real Oshow. I'm Zachary. Joining me as always, my partner in crime, my brother Joshua.
And on today's episode, we talk Gary V dropping VeeFriends, why Aiden Ross is never invited to MrBeast videos, and YoungBoy is the biggest artist on YouTube. Enjoy.
They want money more than they want fame shit. I swear we go so hard, we on A-list. I see my niggas prevailing. We going hard for the hand. We gonna stack till we jaded.
This is a great interview. They doing their thing.
We're back. VeeFriends Topps Chrome week. It's been a crazy week for me, as Joshua knows. Joshua's pissed at me, but Gary V's intellectual property is Pokemon meets Sesame Street. VeeFriends Topps Chrome came out, and if you're watching on video, this is the packaging. You can go try to check your hobby store, check Dave and Adams, but it's probably not going to be there, so check eBay. But it's been a wild week. It's been crazy. The energy's been great. We have yet to rip our pack.
I'm ready for this week to be over so we can get back to the Real Oshow. I am excited for VeeFriends. It's so hot that we work at the company and can't get it.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Maybe this is Pokemon in 1999. It could be.
Maybe.
It could be. Or it could be Garbage Pail in 2024. I don't know.
I mean, Garbage Pail Kids is still an IP. People are still buying it.
Yeah, but you know, it's probably better in the 50s.
We're going to do much better than Garbage Pail Kids. But if you've never checked out VeeFriends, definitely go check them out. It's been crazy. The product's crazy. If you've ever ripped Disney Chrome, we're getting a lot of comparisons to that, which is super cool, just with the characters. But I think in the space and place of sports cards being so expensive, the TCG has been the play. Obviously, Pokemon is in its own way the highest grossing IP of all time.
Pokemon is already there. It's like, why would you buy something that's top of market?
Of course.
It's like, Josh, if you're really trying to be a hustler, you buy the VeeFriends.
100%. But you also got to understand, people don't think like that.
Yeah.
People are like, I want Pokemon, and I'll pay $8 million, even though they could buy a VeeFriends Topps Chrome card for $4,000 and just hold it for 20 years. But people want the flex of things. But anyways, what I was saying is sports cards are so expensive. It seems like there's a lot more people now kind of flowing into the TCG, which is like trading card game, is also slang. But that's like your Pokemon or your Disney Chrome or Marvel.
Gary needs to just completely rip off Pokemon and just make him Ash, like Gary V catch them all, and then Gary is just like roaming around the world catching all.
He would get sued. You'd get sued in a second.
Great. Let him sue you. Let him sue you, Gary.
I agree.
No, that's actually a great idea. But I mean, I'm all in. The cards look good. The buzz is there.
Have you seen the cards?
Yeah. Online I've seen. I haven't seen them in person, obviously, but I'm excited. I think that if you're kind of in the hobby, this is what I've been telling people to do, because a lot of people just want to rip sports cards, and I'm like, bro, sports cards are just so inflated right now. It's unreal.
Crazy.
It's unreal how bad it is, though.
It's like, it's terrible for the market,
especially, but like for rookie cards, a guy can have a lot of buzz, and then you buy him at this. Like, he has a whole career to play. That could be a horrible ROI. Whereas, like, a fictional character, the ROI is like, yeah, maybe it can go down if there's like an animation that they make and the characters get whatever. But to me, I'm like, a fictional character is just has a lot more stability.
The thing is more people know who Mickey Mouse is than they know who Tom Brady is. And that's the end of the argument with how trading cards are going to go. And listen, sports cards will always be a thing. Of course.
You got to make the Mickey Mouse.
But
that's the one thing.
I'm telling you right now, Mickey Mouse's rookie card is much, much cheaper than fucking Anthony Edwards' rookie card.
Right. But I'm curious because like Pokemon is obviously like the North Star when it comes to trading cards. Gary obviously wants the IP to be more like Disney, I would assume, because
the cartoon of it, maybe the comics of it, will be the Disney Marvel-ish. But I think the TCG, the trading cards, will always have the Pokemon-esque, because the Disney Chrome and the Marvel, yes, they've been around, but now they're kind of just starting to get popular.
To me, though, how I look at this, again, maybe this is just like too much of a ripoff of Pokemon, but like when I see all these characters and I see like it almost needs to be its own world, and you're like some of the animations I've seen so far, it's more like kids show Sesame Street, like these are good human traits.
You didn't watch the show last night, and the new like preview of the alpha age coming to an end, and you would have liked it. When it comes out, I'll make sure to send it to you. But it was like, it's kind of because we're launching comic books too.
Yeah, because
so
we've needs to have more of like to me, it has to have like This will be cool if teenagers are thinking it's cool.
Of course.
If 18-year-olds are thinking it's cool. If an 18-year-old's like gratitude gorilla, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I also thought Gary, I was like, bro, I just commented this on Tyler Schmidt's post. Shout out to Tyler Schmidt. I put gratitude gorilla versus 100 humans. Who wins? You know? They should have leaned into that.
Well, Gratitude Gorilla, yeah, they were a little late to that. There was a conversation. I said, you guys are way too late. So don't do it. But anyways, Gratitude Gorilla is not in Topps Chrome. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some real characters that didn't get in.
That's a miss.
But that's the hype. But that's the hype up 2026.
I mean, I get it. There's only you're not going to print all your cards.
It's only 100 characters. There's
but
251
to me, I'm
characters.
Like, it's important to get the main characters, the biggest ones in the first one.
No doubt. Rip's messed up.
Yeah. But what about, is competitive clown in there?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a huge
But
L.
also, Joshua, we're going to onboard a lot of people. Of course it is. Listen, you're 100% right. But listen, it's going to also hype up 2026 when we have a bigger supply, hopefully. But yeah, competitive clown, rare robot, patient panda, gratitude gorilla is going to be their first Topps Chrome. Will be 2026.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this shakes out. It obviously has a big buzz around it. Maybe I'm too close
Gary's
to it.
Pushing it though.
Gary is pushing it hard,
and the hobby feels that he's a fucking lifer in the hobby.
Yeah.
So like, if you're into collectibles at all, you know who Gary is, and if you're into collectibles at all, you should definitely take a look at VeeFriends Topps Chrome Series 2, Series 1. But anyways, let's transition here. Joshua, last weekend I went to go see, they say, the best movie of the year, Sinners by Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that's what you went and saw.
I went to go see it, and I will say it was probably like a 6 out of 10.
Wow.
And here's why.
Wow.
Michael B. Jordan.
Unpopular opinion right here.
Well, of course, you take Michael B. Jordan out of the movie, it's a flop. Michael B. Jordan is the only reason people went and saw the movie, because this is why. It started off like back in it's like 1930s time, Deep South, like Jim Crow laws is kind of like the thing they're trying to like cultivate. Half of the movie was good. The first half was good. Then they threw in the fucking vampires, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it was so random. Like, if they just kept the vampires out and made it like one of those old time movies, Mafia, you know, all these things that kind of went on back in the day that went unpunished because the police had no power. It was all the mafia and things. If they would have kept it on the plot that they were trying to build, instead of the random vampires who like come out because of like music, it was a little random. I didn't.
Were the vampires white?
No.
Okay.
Well, it started as 3 white people.
Okay. I'm just curious because like this whole plot, like I'm like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, they weren't playing like the racism thing. It wasn't really like that.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah,
and when I was like,
I mean, maybe like I didn't see it as that. I don't think they were playing it that. But yes, the first vampire, because obviously if like the vampire bites you, you turn into a vampire. Is like the theory. So the first one was white, and then obviously like it went way bigger than that, black and white. But it wasn't even that. It was like the randomness of the fucking vampires. It just felt like it was unneeded. But Michael B. Jordan like killed it. Michael B. Jordan's great.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's a good actor. I mean, he plays like 2 parts in it. He's like twin brothers or something like that.
Yeah, he's twin. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen all the hype around it. Obviously, like the machine is pushing it.
Of course.
The director, there's something with that director that they really want to push.
Well, him and Michael B. Jordan have done like
I know a ton
5
of movies
together.
No, yeah, they've done a ton of movies together.
Yeah.
But still, like you can just tell the way. I mean, I've seen a lot of that guy's movies without realizing it.
Yeah.
They're good movies, but like,
I'm not like a scary movie guy. And every scary movie I've tended to watch, I felt like it just was scary. And that movie in Sinners wasn't scary. I would say it was more like a thriller.
Yeah, it's a thriller.
Than anything, than like an actual like gory paranormal activity type shit. But like it's hard to make a good plot when there's just people dying and like all the good people die. There's no happy ending. Like it's hard to make a good movie that way.
I disagree with that because Game of Thrones has that appeal where they kill everyone.
But that's not a scary movie. Name one good scary movie.
A good scary movie
that you were like, man, not just because it was scary, it was like an actual good story. Because it's never happened.
Yeah, scary horror films normally lose it on the plot at some point.
That's what I'm saying.
But there are a couple good ones. Like Jordan Peele has some good ones that are pretty good. What's it called?
The one where they switch the brains.
No, it's the one where they bring the black kid to the Hamptons.
That's the one I'm talking about. They take the brain from the black people and transport it into the old white people.
What is it called?
Is it Get Out?
Get Out.
Is that Get Out?
That was bad podcasting there for a second, so we appreciate that.
it.
Yeah, we got it.
I got it.
It took a second.
I got it.
But I'm going to be honest with you, though, like just to get to my point, this might be unpopular, but I'm never going to watch a movie just because Michael B. Jordan's in it. Like that's me. I just don't care that much. Like I'm not gonna be like, ooh. Now like Denzel can get me to be like, this isn't really my. But I would try it. Like there's very few actors that if the movie doesn't hook me, I'm not like, ooh, this actor's in it. I need to see it.
I have
very few people.
I have 4 people that'll probably get me to watch a movie.
Who?
Michael B. Jordan, Denzel, Leonardo, and Kevin Hart / The Rock.
See, maybe
that's a good list.
Yeah.
Give me props. Look in the camera and say that's a good list.
I mean, I don't agree with some of them. Like I said,
who do you not disagree with, or who do you disagree with?
I don't know. I mean, if I had to put a Mount Rushmore of actors, I agree with Denzel.
Okay.
I agree with
DiCaprio.
Kevin Hart as an entrepreneur, I'd put him on the Mount Rushmore, but I don't know if I'd put him on like the acting because he's like Adam Sandler-esque, where he sprays 20 and then like 2 are okay.
But that's okay.
I'm not hating on it. I love Kevin Hart, and I love like the fact that he does that because that's more like how we shoot. We're like, let's put more hooks in the water and see what one hits.
But that's actually how you win.
No, I agree. But that doesn't put you on the Mount Rushmore of best actors.
But
right?
I don't think Kevin Hart is like, oh my God, the best actor. I think he's a great actor in certain roles and in certain films, more comedic style, of course. But me personally, if Kevin Hart's in a movie, I'm gonna be like, oh, like I might go see that. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go completely out of my way because I'm too fucking busy, and sometimes in the movie theater's always overpriced, but it's a good experience. But I'm just telling you, Kevin Hart and The Rock together and or maybe separate, I'm gonna take a look at it.
I'm gonna put another one on here, just modern day. Sydney Sweeney. She's in a film. I'll watch it. I'll watch the film.
Horniest guy of 2025
Dude,
right here.
Did anyone see her Met Gala?
No.
The GOAT.
No.
She was the GOAT of Met Gala. It wasn't even close.
She wore like a goat outfit.
No. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it right here. But the GOAT.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wow.
I have no idea.
You need to get cultured, bro.
Bro, I've just been MIA. I haven't been on social like that.
That's what's wrong with the VeeFriends team. They didn't see what Sydney Sweeney was rocking at the Met Gala. That's the problem. That's why they're not on tune. If everyone was on tune, I bet Bobby did. Shout out.
Shout out Stretch.
Yeah.
Joshua, you wanted to talk about this dumb rule with the MLB. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, so the MLB is launching a new rule in 2026 called the true home run rule, which is basically what happens is when someone hits a home run, it'll only calculate as a true home run if it would be a home run in half the ballparks in the MLB. So essentially like the Yankees, for example, Aaron Judge. Everyone's always like, oh, well, Aaron Judge wouldn't have that many home runs if he was playing at, say, Comerica Park or one of the bigger parks in the MLB. Which he wouldn't. So this is what this new stat is supposed to be is like, hey, he might have hit 60 home runs at Yankee Stadium, but really only 35 of them are real home runs.
I know what they're trying to do. The MLB, I've been on record and gave them props for the pitch clock as being like a good thing. This, just a dumb fucking rule. Just a dumb rule. It's stupid. It means nothing. I'm glad we're talking about it early so we can get all the bad ideas out, but this is a bad rule and a bad idea by the MLB.
I mean, I just think it's like one of those things where like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter, bro. If you hit 80 fucking home runs, but 20 of them are true home runs, you still hit 80 home runs. You still helped your team win games. You still probably hit for 120 RBIs.
It still counts as a run. Like regardless, it still counts as a run.
You know, you want to know what this is? It's a fake metric to make bad baseball players look better.
No, that's
exactly what it is.
This is why I don't like stats and why I don't like stat guys. You can always find a stat to put it in your direction. Like, ooh, this guy could be the guy. Yeah. He has more true home runs than this guy who hits fucking a lot of home runs. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
This is for, like I said, bad baseball players, but it's also to help the management convince the ownership they didn't overpay $20 million and going to save their job because this guy fucking hit 80 true home runs and actually only had 20 and we're still a bad team. It's a bad stat for a bunch of people who are striking out. I know the MLB wants home runs. They want strikeouts. Terrible idea. I hope this gets denied or fucking taken away.
Baseball just needs a headline. That's what it comes down to. Like baseball's been going on for 3-4 months. I haven't even seen a headline. Like who's been showing out in the MLB?
The Tigers. Number one team in the AL,
and
baby.
You wouldn't even know it.
No.
You wouldn't know
I get it on my feed a little bit. I always get baseball feed just because of my life before. But honestly, I wish every stadium was like Yankee Stadium. I wish they were all small. for more home runs.
Why?
To be honest,
should. Why would you have a big stadium? Like, there's no incentive to have a field that has less home runs.
Well,
it's actually stupid.
When Comerica was built, is because Detroit has always had a good pitching staff, so they did it as like a benefit to the pitching staff, which is good and bad. But like, it also sucks to play in the biggest ballpark in the fucking MLB. You know, you hit 20 home runs there, you actually hit 40. Because it's like if you played at the Yankees or these other warmer climates, you would hit way more home runs.
Yeah, it's cold and it's deep. Like, it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, but just a bad idea. And just to know that Aaron Judge hits 30 less home runs a year is going to do nothing to me, because at the end of the day, when he's playing my favorite fucking team, if he hits a home run, it doesn't fucking matter. We still lose.
Definitely not the brightest idea that they've ever had.
Joshua, to transition, actually, I want to take a step back, because did you see Aiden Ross rip the Charzard with Logan Paul on stream?
I did.
That was super crazy. Yeah, Aiden Ross is now getting in. That just shows, I know we're going a little bit backwards here, but it just shows like how much cards and Pokemon are just culture now. Like, it's cool to have a Charizard. I mean, it's cool to rip Pokemon packs.
But I think that also comes from, I wonder, are kids, like young kids growing up, are they like, I want to rip that 1999 Charizard? Or are they trying to think of the next thing that they would want? Because like in my eyes, I'm like, I always see these people ripping Pokemon, and it's always like our age. Like, we grew up with that.
It's because they have money.
Exactly.
These kids would rip the 1999 Pokemon pack if they had the money.
Maybe they'd want to rip fucking some card that we don't even really think about. Maybe it's like the Disney card.
Well,
like, I don't know.
They're probably ripping the new Pokemon. But I say that to say this, because on this stream, he was talking to Logan Paul about MrBeast and being like, MrBeast never invites me to any influencer events. And Logan immediately was like, what did you do to MrBeast? So it made me like feel like maybe Aiden Ross actually did something, and or MrBeast just doesn't fuck with Aiden Ross, which I find surprising. Aiden Ross is probably top 5 influencers in the U.S.
To me, I think it's brand risk for MrBeast. Now, MrBeast owns everything now, so he could do whatever he wants. But at the end of the day, like, Aiden is polarizing in a sense where it might rub brands the wrong way. You either love Aiden or you don't like Aiden. And from a brand standpoint, it's like a love, hate. You know what I mean?
I also feel like MrBeast is in a place where you can't cancel him. Like, he's so big. Like, he doesn't need anybody. He doesn't need these brands.
Yeah, maybe, but no, he doesn't need other brands.
That's what I'm saying.
But like,
so why does it matter about a brand?
They could
list?
fuck with his like distribution and that type of stuff. They definitely could do that.
Well, who's gonna fuck with his distribution is Hershey's and Nestle. That's who's gonna fuck with his thing, not because he had Aiden Ross at an influencer event.
See, if the chocolate market was big enough, they'd probably just, you know, MrBeast, if he was, because he's already been trying to expose them a little bit.
Well,
like,
you can't. He's too out there.
Maybe.
So you have to
You
get it in other ways.
You just peered in like a car crash. Oh, he got in a car accident. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? A Tesla, a remotely driven Tesla or another car. Boom.
Are we fucked up that we think like that?
No, I don't think so. Like, I was thinking about the other day. I was like, man, my mind always goes to like the darkest thing.
Because that's your childhood.
Maybe, but I also think in my head, I'm like, it's also the realest thing. People, for the most part, I don't think are quote unquote good. I think people for the most part are like, is it going to benefit me? Yeah. Okay. And I think a lot of it, especially once you get to like the highest part, it's ego, power, money. And when you mix all those things together, bro, often people ain't that crazy at that point. Like we were talking about, I made a video about Warren Buffett, about how he bought Berkshire Hathaway as like a fuck you to a CEO who apparently, you know, he bought 7% of their company. He was like, I'll sell it back to you for this amount of money. They were like, yep, we agree. Then it came back 12 cents each share less. Well, that pissed him off. He was like, fuck, you want to buy the rest of your company. So I ended up buying enough of the company to fire the CEO, and then was like, fuck, I just bought a textile company that makes clothing. They literally had nothing. They had empty warehouses. He was like, fuck. And then just turned it into an investment firm. So it's like, you say all that to say, but like people are like, Warren Buffett is too rich not to be a bad person. Like that's like all the comments. Like you look at our Facebook comments specifically, everyone is just spamming like, he's a bad dude. This guy had to be. But like you think about it, you're like, bro, this dude's like lives in the same house he's always lived in. Done like
it's because people don't understand.
Maybe I agree.
And it's jealousy.
I agree, but there is the other side of the coin where it's like his company is worth $1.2 trillion now. Like that's like I made the video was 900 something billion. It's already at like 1.2 trillion in like not even a long time. So you just think to yourself, you're like, to grow something that big, at somewhere there was some shit where they did some dark, vile shit. Even though you're so disconnected from it that you're like, oh,
his company did. Warren Buffett wasn't like, we need to kill this person.
No. He wasn't.
Yes.
I don't think that, but like that's how it works, right? Like
Yeah,
the
of
company's
course.
like, yeah, we're gonna exploit these. Like we're gonna invest in this company that exploits fucking kids.
Of course, 'cause-
like that's
yeah,
that's
because
still an event. Like you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to.
Because
get
when you build a corporation and a massive company, you know, if you're sitting at the top, you have 5 people talking to you. Then those 5 people are talking to 10. And then those 10 people are talking to fucking 50 people. And then those 50 are talking to like hundreds and hundreds. It just scales down where it's like I'm reading Bob Iger's autobiography, who's the CEO of Disney. And he was talking about how when they opened up the Shanghai, China, it was like his worst week of his career. Because back at Disney World, a kid on like one of the resorts got like eaten by an alligator. Someone like died at the park. And there was a shooting near the park that apparently they had video evidence that the guy was going to shoot up Disney World. But because they had an event that week and they had more security, so he drove away and then shot up a club. It was like all in the same week. He opened up Shanghai, and he's like, the way he goes through his planes to like find out information, all these little things, and like fixing the resort, putting up fence. He's so at the top level that it takes 100 people to probably do his one ask. So you are so disconnected. Like Bob Iger isn't a bad person, but Disney might be doing some bad shit.
But it's at the end of the day, you as the leader of it are controlling that. You know
it's
what I mean?
on you 100%.
But especially it's
But you're
worse
still
when you have shareholders that are like, you have to do this, or we're gonna fucking fire you, and we're gonna get someone else in here who is gonna do it.
But you have to remember, humans are humans.
Yeah.
Humans can get exploited. Humans can also do great stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like people can lapse. Like there's human error.
Fun fact, no one has ever died at Disney World.
It was at a resort.
But
like, are you saying at the actual site?
At the park.
Yeah.
They like, people will like get like you said, eaten by alligator, and they'll literally drag them out of the park, get them out of the park before they pronounce them dead. Because it's like an actual thing. They like, no one's ever died at Disney.
It was at a resort, but it probably it probably wasn't Disney World. The resorts are probably different than that.
They're off site a little bit. Like I've been to the resorts.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
But yeah, like a little kid got like taken, and like in the week they opened up Shanghai, China, which would be a dope vlog for us to do.
Shanghai
Disney.
I got a Beijing Connect.
Yeah,
we can get linked up.
It'd be super dope. So.
I would only want to go to like China, Japan, anything in the Asia countries. I would only want to go if I had like someone there with me that was like, like helping us converse. Hey, you got to do this, stay in this area, because that is just like such a different culture than what we're used to.
100%.
And the language isn't even close. Like when I was in Italy, at least like a lot of the words are like very similar. Like I can look at the menu and be like, okay, I know what this is. Like I can figure that out.
I've seen it before.
Exactly. Like though you ain't Mandarin, you're not gonna be like, oh, cheeseburger. Yeah, right. I mean, it's not what's gonna happen. So it's like, you definitely need some help.
You might not be fully racist, but you're a low racist.
No, I'm being for real. That's not racist. That's literally saying, yo, if I'm looking at Mandarin, I would be like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Of course.
You know, and listen, if the place has pictures, you're probably at the wrong place. So it's like, you know,
don't they do that in like America? They have the pictures.
Well, yeah, but like if you go to like a really nice restaurant, you're never gonna have pictures. Yeah. It's always like just a fucking word on a page, and you're like, I think I know what that is, but I don't really know.
Why is that at nice restaurants there's no pictures?
It's a good question. I mean, it's just like a classy thing. Like you're supposed to know what this is. Like you should know what this is because you fine dine all the time.
It stresses me out to go to restaurants that I don't know, like the menu. Yeah, it really stresses me
I learned a lot when I was in Italy. They were like, obviously never eat at a place that has pictures on the menu. They were like, if it isn't only in Italian, don't eat there. They were like, some of them will have like an English version where it's like Italian, but they have like an English writing of like what it is. Like that's okay. They were like, if it's gelato, never go to a gelato place that has it packed over. If it's like not even with the bin or under, they were like, don't eat there. Or if there's crazy colors, like it's supposed to be like very mute colors, right?
Interesting.
And if it's it has to be covered. If it's not covered, you never eat there.
Why?
It's just that's good like real gelato has to be covered. The fake
Interesting.
shit, like, 'cause, like even in Italy, you'll go to places and it's like a tourist trap. It's just like they just load it up and they're like never go to those.
Interesting.
So like it's like there's very touristy spots and they'll be like, ooh, let's put a gelato place here, and it's just a tourist trap. So it's a few different things like that.
That's great to know. But as we wrap up, Joshua, I have a question. NBA YoungBoy, I think, may have dropped the song of the year, song of the summer with Where I Been / Shot Calling. Joshua, would you agree NBA YoungBoy is number 2 in the rap game behind Drake, and it's not even close?
Yeah. I mean, I think from a sheer talent wise, yes. But I also think that YB is top notch for a few reasons. One, obviously, he's so talented. Like, blatantly, even if you don't like his music, you can be like, he's very fucking talented. Very similar like a Kodak Black, like just effortlessly talented. But what YB does better than 99.99999% of people, and why Drake is so uber successful, he drops a fuck ton of music.
Yeah.
Like, he drops a fuck ton of music. No marketing to it, drops it. And people be like, how does he sell so much and he doesn't have marketing behind it? It's because he's always dropping. His fans are always expecting music. He's always relevant. Like, these rappers, Bobby Shmurda, for example. Guy who went to jail for fucking 8 years, comes out, hasn't even dropped the project, or if he did, it was irrelevant. And then he's like trying to tour, couldn't sell more than 10 tickets at each city, and is basically being like, yeah, bro, they fucked up my tour, da-da-da, which is like the typical song and dance when your tour gets canceled. But it's like, where's the delusion with these artists thinking they can sell tickets when you don't even drop fucking music? You don't drop music. Why? Like, it's like us, bro. We're dropping fucking 2 videos a day. Every day we're trying to get relevant. That's how you win. You don't fucking drop one song every 6 months, a year, and be like, yeah, bro, I'm the shit though. That one song slaps. Like, no.
I agree.
That's not it. It has to be every day, every week, every month, but you got to be feeding your fans. You're just forgotten about.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Nav. Nav is another great example. Disappears for 3 years, thinks he can fucking just be number 1 again. No, that doesn't work like that, bro. COVID happened. You didn't even drop, Nav. What the fuck are we talking about right now?
But the reason I bring up NBA is I just made a video. You heard it. But for the audience that made it this far, YoungBoy has built a YouTube audience. So I go about in the video like, you know, what on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, the big thing is to get playlisted. NBA YoungBoy does not make songs that should be on playlists for the most part. Like, he obviously gets some, he sells a ton, but his audience, he's like trained his audience to go to YouTube to listen to his music. He also drops a ton of music videos, which we've talked about this before. Making a ton of music and dropping a lot of music videos and dropping vlogs is the recipe. NBA YoungBoy does that literally better than anybody. It's actually where Drake falls off a little bit, but Drake just drops a lot of music, does a lot of stuff on Instagram, is now getting into the live streaming game a little bit more. So he kind of keeps relevance that way. But NBA YoungBoy just puts out so much content and music that his audience and the people that love him, and I love NBA YoungBoy, but I'm also like, I like when he sings more than his like hard music, I would say. But anyways, when he drops a vlog, no matter what, for the most part, I'm probably going to watch it. He's super interesting.
You know, the thing is for me with YB, I think he like did this on accident, or maybe he did it on purpose. But like the reason why I think he was so all in on YouTube was because he knew his core fan base. A lot of people might not buy fucking stream like an Apple Music or Spotify. YouTube is free. It's almost like the decentralization of music, because anybody, whether you have you don't need even a fucking username. You can literally go usernameless on YouTube and listen to YB's music, all of his music.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't do that on Spotify or Apple Music. Like, I literally have to do it on Spotify. If you make a free account and I click on YB, it'll put a different song on it. I'm like, nah, you didn't pay for it. We'll shuffle in maybe one of his songs eventually.
I also think what YouTube does better than obviously an Apple Music or a Spotify, YouTube does not really get, as long as it's not over the line, doesn't give a fuck. If it's a good video, they're going to push it.
Yeah.
They don't care. Where Apple Music and Spotify, they're in business to stay a little bit more corporate. There's a reason why when you search Drake, Kendrick Lamar music was coming up for a whole fucking 2 years. So, you know,
It
I think
still
they
does
play
that
that
on
game.
Spotify.
Does it?
Yeah, it happens all the
Bro,
time.
everybody delete your Spotify account.
No, it does. It
Fuck
definitely does.
Spotify.
I mean,
Unless they sponsor this podcast.
the guys who made Spotify are actually really brilliant guys. And what Spotify did for music probably helped it in the long run because it stopped the monopoly of just like what Apple would have been and iTunes would have been, because they would have just taken the whole market over. They'd have stole it from everyone. Had Spotify not came in. And honestly, Spotify forces Apple to be better because their app is at times works better, has more functionality than Apple Music, because Apple Music, like, we don't give a fuck. We got it on everyone's iPhone.
Well, Spotify's trying to become YouTube.
which
with
is
the
smart.
video.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
I mean, they
it'll
should
be
be
interesting.
If I was Spotify, I'd be like, we're going to be Twitter, the everything app. We're going to have movies. We're going to have YouTube. We're going to have podcasts. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to be able to do live
YouTube
stream.
is going to be the everything app. It has the biggest chance because it's one on short form, it's one on long form. They're trying to figure out the blog post, the tweets, like the kind of like almost Twitter style of it. They're the farthest along.
See,
so they could do it.
X is up there too, I think. And the reason why X is so valuable, and one thing that I think Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are missing out on is, say I'm watching a video on X or YouTube and I swipe out of the app, the video stays. Even in Safari, it'll do that. Safari will do that. So the fact that Instagram, TikTok, Facebook have not figured that out yet is a massive miss, because
agree.
I should be able to text you while also being able to watch my video.
Yeah,
Straight up.
that's right.
Or swipe out of it.
That's right.
And it still be playing while I'm swiped out of it. So to me, I say all that to say, that's why I think, again, YouTube is definitely up there. Twitter's up there, but they're like ahead of the game in that sense. If that's a big miss, I just think, on Meta/TikTok.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it. If you made it this far, drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe. Till next Friday. Peace.
I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for greatness. They paper getters. They want money more than they want fake shit. I swear we